Namaste and welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today, Consecration from the Mother. The more you are unified, the more you are able to realize self-giving. And once the self-giving is complete, consecration follows. It is the crown of the whole process of realization, the last step of the gradation, after which there is no more trouble and everything runs smoothly. But you must not forget that you cannot become integrally consecrated at once. You are often deluded into such a belief when, for a day or two, you have a strong movement of a particular kind. You are led to hope that everything else will automatically follow in its wake. But in fact, if you become the least bit self-complacent, you retard your own advance, for your being is full of innumerable tendencies at war with one another, almost different personalities, we may say. When one of them gives itself to the divine, the others come up and refuse their allegiance. We have not given ourselves, they cry, and start clamoring for their independence and expression. Then you bid them be quiet and show them the truth. Patiently, you have to go round your whole being, exploring each nook and corner, facing all those anarchic elements in you, which are waiting for their psychological moment to come up. And it is only when you have made the entire round of your mental, vital, and physical nature, persuaded everything to give itself to the divine, and thus achieved an absolute unified consecration, that you put an end to your difficulties. Then indeed yours is a glorious walk towards transformation. For you no longer go from darkness to knowledge, but from knowledge to knowledge, light to light, happiness to happiness. The complete consecration is undoubtedly not an easy matter, and it might take an almost indefinitely long time if you had to do it all by yourself, by your own independent effort. But when the divine's grace is with you, it is not exactly like that. With a little push from the divine now and then, a little push in this direction and in that, the work becomes comparatively quite easy. Of course, the length of time depends on each individual, but it can be very much shortened if you make a really firm resolve. Resolution is the one thing required. Resolution is the master key. It is obvious that the greatness of an action does not depend on its scope, and its perfection does not depend on circumstances or on external conditions, but on the sincerity of the consecration with which it is done. To do what the divine wants you to do, in a total consecration of the being, this is the only thing that matters. The outer scope of the action is of no account. If I may say, as a result of the grace, they have a mind which does not trouble them, does not question, does not discuss, go very fast. And then, what is quite miraculous, according to ordinary ideas, is that as soon as they reach that degree of consecration, which identifies them through their psychic being with the divine presence, suddenly they become endowed with capacities of expression absolutely unknown to their nature. And so, after all, one doesn't care a rap for obstacles and difficulties. What can that do to you? It doesn't count. One laughs at time also. What does it matter to you if it takes long? For a much longer time, you will have the joy of aspiration, of consecration, of self-giving. For this is the one true joy. And this joy fades away when there is something egoistic, and because there is a demand, which one calls a need, which is mixed in the consecration. Otherwise, the joy never disappears. This is the first thing one obtains, and the last one realizes, and it is the sign of victory. So long as you can't be in joy, a constant, calm, peaceful, luminous, invariable joy, well, it means that you have still to work to purify yourself, and sometimes work hard. But this is the sign. It is with the sense of separation that pain, suffering, misery, ignorance, and all incapacities have come. It is with an absolute self-giving, self-forgetfulness, in a total consecration, that suffering disappears and is replaced by a joy which nothing can veil.